Welcome to Dave's American Flyer Trains. Join me to explore American Flyer trains by A.C. Gilbert, rebuilt and maintained to engineering practices, factory specifications, standards, and underpinned by lessons learned from literature, experience, collaboration, and applied knowledge to update and advance the skill of this craft. Please subscribe. Together we'll preserve these great trains through value-added quality content. Remember, the trains are the show. In this video series, we'll revisit 462 Pacific, made from 1948 to 1950 by the A.C. Gilbert Company. It's a number 350, and it is believed to be a Type 3. It has the reverse in the boiler, as well as the operating headlight. It has the separately applied wire handrails, as well as the separately applied pilot handrails. The B&O Herald on the tender is set forward of the American Flyer lines. The indentations in the body of the tender were removed, so it's flat. It has the trailing truck and drawbar assembly. And I was very fortunate to acquire this one in an estate sale in which the set was complete. The catalog set was complete. It came with catalog set 48T. It had the Baltimore, Ohio 633 boxcar, which according to Doyle is the boxcar that has more variations than any other piece of American Flyer rolling stock. It also had the 631 Texas and Pacific gondola, and one of my personal favorites is the 630 Reading caboose. Now I have a couple of tools on display with the train here early on because I think that I will be able to revisit these and demonstrate their use. Several of you have asked for demonstrations of things like wheel pullers, wheel compression tools, how to change out couplers, and so forth. So I think I'll be able to use. I'll explain later why I've got this particular wheel puller and the wheel compression tool. This wheel puller is the one I'll probably use on this train. It is from Portline's Hobby, portlines.com, and it is a very simple mechanism, but very effective. What I have on it right now are the lifts for a diesel, and I'll change those over to the lifts for a steam, and that's done simply by removing the screws on either end of the brace, and that's done with an Allen wrench. And then the larger Allen wrench is used to lift the wheel off. Now it works on a very simple principle of opposing forces. The blades or lifts are put underneath the wheel. The pin must be precisely placed exactly in the middle of, squarely in contact with, the axle. When this is rotated, and sometimes the wheels are in such bad shape I can even take this and hand rotate it, but if they are still on pretty good or rusted on, I have to use this to turn it, and of course the pin is driven down, the lifts are being raised up, and there's the opposing forces. So I'll be using this one on this particular train. Again, I'll explain why later. Now I've got one other wheel puller I'm just going to show you quickly. That's this one. It's a little bit more robust. I believe it also came from Portline's Hobby, but it's a little bit stronger. And you can adjust the width of the lifts to go way out to be able to accommodate O-gauge and pre-war. I had to purchase this one because I was working on some O-gauge Lionel. I believe one was pre-war, and this one simply was not quite big enough to get those Lionel drivers off. So I had to purchase this one. That also comes with an Allen wrench, which is used to turn the pin. Again, I believe both are available from Portline's Hobbies. This is the wheel compression tool. I'm not sure if I'm going to use it on this particular problem. Because of the symptoms, it's a possibility, but I just thought I would put it out here just in case we get an opportunity to use it. Just an editorial correction. This wheel puller was purchased online at eBay from Marty's Trains. The seller was Marty's Trains. This wheel puller was purchased from Portline's Hobby, portlines.com. This wheel puller is currently set with its lifts for steam, therefore to give a little bit more room between the posts. If these feet or lifts were inserted, there would be less room, and it's ideally suited, or it's designed to pull diesel wheels. I acquired this in either 2015 or 2016 in that estate sale and rebuilt it at that time. However, I've acquired new skills and new knowledge that I'm going to apply to this. It's also going to allow me to demonstrate one of my guiding principles, and that is, don't be distracted by the illusion. Instead, focus on the solution. And even I fell into that trap with this train when it began to perform beneath my own standards for response and forward and reverse speeds. The 350 had always been one of my steadiest performers in every aspect, performance and response. However, recently it began to have some strange characteristics when traveling on this interior loop. Right here on the track, it was beginning to show signs of disconnecting from the power source. It was also doing that on the switch that's sitting right up here, probably one of the rougher switches I have that has more changes in elevation and edges. I don't think it was doing that anywhere else, although it may have been doing that in the tunnel, but I immediately fell into that trap, and the first thing I did, I guess it wasn't a totally bad thing, is I eliminated the track as being the problem. I focused right here where it's joined, but of course what should have alerted me that it's not the track is that I had been running locomotives on this track right up to the point that I switched it over to the 350 with no issues whatsoever, as well as coming across the switch. Thanks to everyone who watched this video to the end. Please subscribe to the channel to see more of this content. Give a like or comment as you see fit. And above all, remember, the trains are the show.